Hello everybody, welcome to Standin Up. This is Oliver Brown.
Nice to meet you.
To start it off, how you going, brother?
For the most part, I'm sane and my mental health is good, but I procrastinate a lot and I'm very hard on myself. I set myself very high standards and that creates a lot of stress in my life. In my years of experience in doing programs at school and all my experiences in life, I've learned coping mechanisms to understand how to keep going and how to face it as if you've faced any other problem before, and I'm gonna be okay. So I'm not worried.
It's great to hear, brother. We were talking before and we wanted to talk about how we actually got here, him and I, and then we're gonna get on to the big question. With that, I would like to give a thanks to a great friend of ours, Tommy Herschel, who actually came to our school PVC and really started all of this. The reason I'm doing this, to be honest. His workshop, the work he's done, the great work he's done with Find Your Feet. I remember first time I was in the workshop, Jet, Lindsay, the man here, he actually stood up first and I heard his story. And it was incredible. It was an incredible moment. I don't think anyone who did those workshops is able to really explain how it felt, but it was incredible. How I met Oliver is one of the teachers at the school set up a leadership program and I was one of those leaders and so was Oliver. Thus force, we kind of started our friendship on the basis of this men's mental health being better, being around those topics of having that conversation that is uncomfortable. And I'd love to recognize Tommy for starting this off, introducing me to this space, this headspace, this area, this community of being real, being better, really pushing yourself as a man. And yeah, I guess that's all I got to say.
My experience, basically what Zach said. It was a mandatory setup that the school provided with Tommy, and you had an assigned class that you had to go to, and I rocked up. I wasn't hesitant at all because I was already very in tune with my feelings, but I tell you what, this course just changed everything. Like from the point forward that I entered that door to when I left the room, my life had changed. We went into this room and Tommy knew every single way to get it all out of us. He started off with the old, how you going boys? How's the footy going? You going on beers on the weekend? Like that usual masculinity, that just universal man experience per se. In doing that, he got the boys comfortable. And then he decided to really start digging deep. And a lot of people stood up and told their stories. I myself told my story, and I had a lot of people in that room who were very honest about how they've treated me in the past. And that to me was definitely one of the biggest things, one of the most significant parts of that workshop is the actual communication between people our age and how we communicate with each other. And I got the most out of realizing that once these boys just get a little bit of a kick up the arse and say, look, what are you doing? Like, start looking out for the people around you. It's insane to see the true colours come out, And since then, went into the Growing Good Humans leadership program with Zach's and planned some events, and it was really good and I learnt a lot, and we've stayed in contact with Tommy since then, and
here we are.
Every time I ask this bloke how he is, it's always how he actually is, and that's what I love about him and us. It's something that definitely should start to become more common in a lot of younger people, I hope, because openness and honesty is the key to everything. So
let's talk. First question, and I plan to ask pretty much everyone I get on this question, the big question, and that is, mate, what is your story?
I started here, not here, we're in Brisbane. I started on the Gold Coast. I grew up on the Gold Coast and I haven't left. I had a wonderful supportive family, never had a problem. They are divorced now, which is quite a shock to me, which did have a major impact on my life, but nothing I haven't gotten over. Very supportive family, grew up doing a lot of sporting, a lot of leadership roles and very active, and that my life was academic and sports. That's all I knew. That was reinforced behind me, and I was very well supported in that area, and I don't regret one single bit.
How was your sporting?
Sporting.
How's your sporting experience?
So
Sporting family.
I played for sporting family. So right, my brother and I both played sport. My brother was a big AFL and cricket player, and I was a big soccer player and cricket player. Played soccer for about 12 years, and that definitely has made me who I am today. I would say I originally started my sporting career with my dad coaching me, and that was the greatest thing I could ask for, because my dad knows how to coach a team, and he knows that
would have made
in
it more
sport,
comfortable.
100%, and he knows that in sport that it's not about a team of champions, it's about the champion team, you know. And he was very, very good at understanding that there is a communication and a teamwork part of skill, you know what I mean? Skill comes with that teamwork. And he made us run laps, and we were always the ones on the field that were running, and we never stopped. And that for me was a very big kind of base to my career. I started off in leadership roles, captains of most of the teams, and you know, I was a very good player, and I think that did reflect upon my actions some of the time. I did definitely take up a lot of the dominance in the team, because I was always the best, and I always thought, you know, like everyone has to listen to me. And
were you the best?
I was.
Really?
Keyword was.
Oh, was. Okay.
And then I got an Xbox.
And he got an Xbox. And then he got an Xbox. When you look
and I tell you what, and this is the reason I still believe to this day that with any sporting, it is cardio 100%, not skill. Because my cardio and my fitness slowly started to decline, and I started to gain a bit of weight, and I was still playing soccer, but I was sitting at home all day, every day, playing games, eating food, sitting down in the lounge. And that was a very depressing time, because that's when it started to get into the bullying at school. And I'd always been bullied because, and I believe, and I don't like to, you know, toot my own horn, but when, like I was saying, I was the best in the team, and that was pretty scary for some other people. They felt threatened.
The camera died, unfortunately, which is okay. I'm admitting that right now. Back to what we were saying before. Can I share my sporting experience? Because you said that. What did your dad say? What did your dad tell you again? It was like,
this ain't a team of champions, it's a champion team.
Yeah, I love that. You said that. I personally, I can't grasp that, because when I was younger doing sports, like, I had a sporting family as well, and Dad wanted me to play sports, and my cousins were all into AFL. They were all these big AFL prodigies and everything, and I just never lived up to that at all. And when I did play the sports that I did and was in that team setting, I wasn't really introduced to a very healthy sportsmanship. It was very toxic culture that I was in, that club sport, and I just don't feel like I was treated very well, and I wasn't encouraged. I feel like there's two things that happen really when you do go into something. It's either you do poorly, right? You play poorly. It's either you get two responses from either your parents who are trying to push you to do something, or your mates. It's either they'll throw shit at you and put you down, hope like, mate, you're playing like shit. Like, they'll say these things to hope that you kind of use that to play better and to put more like into it.
Emphasis, yeah.
So they'll be like, mate, you're playing like shit. What are you doing, mate? Like, and you'll either take that and you'll go, oh, I'm playing bad. I need to step up and do it. Or you take that and you give up. And you really like just take that. And you go, I'm no good.
Yeah.
I'm playing like shit. I'm bad. And that's kind of what I felt like I had. It was very like, it wasn't a very, if I messed up, like, oh, it's all good. Like, mate, you're still doing sweet. Although I messed up, it's okay. I was not told it was okay. It was always, I'm playing bad, it's bad, I'm shit. There wasn't a, it's okay, you'll get better, it's okay to make mistakes. And I wasn't encouraged to accept my mistakes. And whenever you go into anything new, like sporting or anything, you need to make mistakes and you need to know that to get better, you need to. But I was kind of punished for that. Maybe not punished, but I wasn't encouraged to make mistakes, and then I was scared. Therefore, I didn't progress because I didn't try anything new. I didn't try to level up. And that's where I wasn't really I didn't have a champion team. It wasn't a team of champions at all. It was very much unsupportive. And I mean, I was short. I'm a short fella. Like, I was obviously bullied, had anger issues and everything. Like, if I ever wanted to get my hands on the ball, I had to go, I had to like actually like go little Red Hulk mode and go after the ball, like shove and just everything. Just like, it was anger. And I didn't like that about myself. I didn't like that. I had to be angry to really just get through to it. And I had to use that sort of emotion. That was uncomfortable to me, and that wasn't what I wanted to do. So what I do? Started surfing, skating.
And I'll add to that as well. As I progressed, going from my dad coaching me to proper coaches in the Junior Premier League and that kind of thing, I noticed that it slowly started to turn from a champion team into a team of champions, and it became less connected. There was a bunch of really good players from NPL teams and whatever was going on, and there was actually a lot of toxicity within it. I always got the shit for being, that chubby kid who couldn't run the whole field, and I lost my love for the sport. And that sport was something that I still think about to this day, and I still go, damn, I wish I had a mate who I could go down to the field and kick a ball with.
Bro, facts, dude.
I wish there wasn't such a toxic culture around it and more of a supportive, and that's why I'm so grateful that I had my dad as a coach when I was younger,
so
because
much.
he knew and he understood.
Yeah.
But I only now see that how good my dad was after experiencing those other coaches and the different way of teaching and teaching soccer. So, yeah.
I wish I got the chance to really get to that level where I did go to those games and I did have that sportsmanship and I did have that moment of like winning a game with my team and we're all like, yes! Yeah. And we're all just like, yes, oh dude, oh.
It was one of the first ever like feelings of glory that I experienced in my life, because obviously when you're a kid you're not going to experience much glory, right? But having that, see, I also hear a lot of opinions from people that they never did a sport and they never tried it because it just wasn't their thing or whatever. But I actually learnt so much and had so much fun being a part of not the fact that it was a sport or soccer, just having a group of mates who we'd meet up twice a week, do some training and have fun. And it was, it was a great start to my life, and it gave me that foundation for, growing myself and maturing.
People ask me, and I know we were going to move away from talking about the podcast real quick, but I want to address this. People ask me, what's it about? And it's not about like anything, to be honest. It's just
Two blokes having a chat.
that two blokes' perspectives on a chat.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, men's mental health, right? Mental health in general, like not just men's, but I guess we're just delving into people, the spirit, story, what's your story, having a good chat, talking about things that could probably help someone if they heard them. I guess that's the point. So these are my top questions, I would say, maybe concepts. These are concepts I've thought of that I would like to talk about, and the first one, which I love this so much, and this is going to go so hard when I say it, but this is it. I've had a lot of worries in life, which most of never happened.
Damn.
What do you think about that?
I mean, that is life, you know? Ever since we were born, we were brought up and raised to worry about things, to have fear in the unknown, you know? And, you know, that's just how we've been brought up, and I wish I wasn't brought up like that, but I have to deal with it that way. And yes, I do stress about a lot of things that don't end up happening, and it creates a lot of bad mental health. But you can learn to get away from that stress and that anxiety of things that are coming in your life, you know. I always have gone through my life not focusing on what's coming, but what's happening right now. And right now, I do not need to worry about anything in the future, because right now, in this moment, I'm enjoying myself and I get to talk about the things that I love talking about. And I guess that in putting so much pressure on myself for the things that are going to happen in the future, I'm actually creating that non-existent stress, that worrying about something that's never going to happen.
Would you say that you're more present now?
100%. I definitely do still worry about things, but it's really only short term. I know that long term basis in the future, I'll get there. You know, I'll get to where I want to be.
What's the biggest worry you've had that's never happened?
Biggest worry I had that's never happened. I was worried that I was never going to have any friends. The way I was brought up,
That's deep.
and the way I was raised was very moral, and very like this kind of whole lifestyle of talking about our feelings and stuff was actually brought up to me from the start. My dad was very in touch and my mum was very in touch with their emotions, and that had a big impact on me. And from the start, I found that I wasn't getting along with people. I was jumping from group to group, and I was going, people don't like me in this group. I never stuck anything out, and I ended up accepting something that I didn't deserve. For the last 2 years of my high school, the friends that I had were mean, they were narcissistic, they went back on the things that they said, and it really scared me for what was held in the future. But now, being with the present and understanding that what I have now, I'm extremely grateful for, because nothing is ever promised.
Would you say that the reason maybe you lacked friends is because that, first of all, would you consider yourself blessed for your father, obviously, having these open discussions with you and introducing this to you early on? And do you think maybe that's why you lacked friends, because they lacked that?
The knowledge.
That sort of knowledge of being open and communicating. And not that it's bad to lack that, I think that's part of the human process, dude.
Yeah.
What?
100%.
Learning, like you figure it out, you figure shit out, you go, oh. Yeah. But I'm sorry, was that
the reason?
reason?
I'm so unbelievably grateful for my parents, and I know I've heard of a lot of other situations where their family setup is not like that. A lot of my mates, their family setup's not like that. And the family setup that I had and the support I received from such a young age up until now has made me who I am. And if I didn't have a dad and mother that was so in touch with their emotions and so in touch with them with mental health and their support, I just wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have the knowledge that I do have right now, and I would have made choices. I would have made some pretty stupid choices and gone down a wrong lifestyle.
You've said just some incredible
Yeah.
things there. You're grateful for your parents and the way they brought you up. And I know a lot of people who unfortunately probably haven't been blessed with that parenthood, unfortunately.
100%.
And I myself am so blessed to have grown up with my parents still around, and it is so okay if you haven't. Maybe you didn't have that mother, that father there. Like, it is so okay, and although we all kind of grow up and diverge onto different life paths, there is no wrong life path. You can't do your life path wrong or right.
100%.
That was something I heard and was thinking of someone maybe watching who didn't have that. And I just wanted to reassure that it is so okay to not have that. And I think we can all get to that point of maturity and knowledge from different starting points.
I have many mates that will come on here and talk about how their family situation was terrible. But those boys are, I'm so proud of, you know.
Yeah,
they've been brought up in such a harsh environment.
So these are some young fellas that we know, but we'll keep anonymous for now.
They were brought up in such a harsh environment, but they're still such loving, caring boys who talk about their feelings to this day. Whether we had that impact on them or not, I'm so proud of them, you know, and they were able to get to that point without a supportive family.
I think
I'm just
regardless,
so grateful for the family that I did have, you know.
No matter if you started where Oliver and I did, being fortunate enough to get the experience to learn about these sorts of things and talk about these at an early stage, and even if you didn't learn about these at an early stage, you're not behind at all.
Yeah.
You still can learn, you can still grow, use that story that we're trying to bring to light and use that for the better. And for anyone else in that same boat, it's not too late. It
100%.
does help.
Time will tell.